our miniature camping or miniature fire done. I'm standing by it. So now let's make some miniature hot dogs. I have the oven preheated so that we can bake some polymer clay. Let's see, put this aside. All right, I have not done, so I have made miniature food before. I've not done miniature hot dogs, because if I did, I would just use the ones I'd made. And I want to show y'all. So like if you want to do just like random tiny adorable stuff, like making miniature food, look at this. This is a miniature, I made that. And it wasn't that hard actually. A little miniature PB&J sandwich. So I'm gonna do something similar to this for the bread, for the rolls, for these hot dogs. And it's basically just like you texturize the inside so it looks like it's a roll that's like cut open and then kind of shade the outside. Veggie dogs. Yes, veggie dogs, because we don't want Lucifer to eat another animal. Lucifer. All right. There we go. All right. So, I am going to start out making, let's see, I've got some white. So I'm going to start out making, let's start with the bread. This is my highly classy way of storing polymer clay. I just put it in a Ziploc bag so it doesn't like dry out. Well, I don't know if it would do that here in Houston. Awesome, so much. Thank you. All right. So I'm just gonna mix some, I think this is called like tan or something. Oven baked clay, tan. All right. Need more than that. So here's what might happen. In fact, I have a, there it is, miniature hot dogs. That's a polymer clay hot dog someone else made. Mine probably won't look like that. Can a miniature pitchfork be made from Lucifer? Jay Hackett, you're getting awfully demanding. Waylon's mod did suggest, like, again, a little guitar, but we're doing hot dogs. They're gonna have to be happy with hot dogs. Okay. How big is a hot dog? Like 6 inches? That seems right. So Calico Critters, there's different like ratios and like sizes you can do miniatures in, and Calico Critters are 12:1. So basically it's anything that would be a foot in real life would be 1 inch in Calico Critterland. But then their legs are so short. Like, so their chairs are not, like the chair legs are not to proportion, but then everything else is. So like this would be like a really short chair for our little Jimmy Hedricks. So this would have to be like a 1/2 inch hot dog, I guess. 6 inches. You have a show where you make mini accessories for all the critters. Actually, that's a good idea. So I am going to be in the market for another idea once I finish this scene. I have another idea, but it might be a little ambitious, especially after I saw my delivery versus like other people's delivery. So that's not a bad idea. Okay. So I'm just like making a ruler. If I were a ruler, here we go. All right, that would be a 12-inch hot dog. That's probably too big. So polymer clay is pretty cool because you can do a lot with it. You can use like molds, and then you can paint it, and then as long as it's like, it does not look like a bun. All right, there we go. And as long as it's less than 1/4, like 1.25 inches thick, it'll bake okay. If I get ambitious, I'm gonna make plastic bags for the buns and the hot dogs. That might legitimately burn this place down. Because what I was seeing online is like you use like a pyrography tool or a hot glue gun or something to like melt the edge of the plastic. This is a better ball. Alright. So apparently is anyone from New England on here? Apparently there's two different kinds of hot dog buns. There's ones that, apparently New Englanders cut their buns like right down the top, and then everyone else cuts it along like the side, like horizontally. I was unaware of this until I saw it on the internet. I didn't bother Googling it more than that though, because I figured someone would tell me if that's the case. But if that is a thing, I'm going to make these all New England buns because that's easy. All right. So I'll do four hot dog buns. Yes, lobster. Yeah, that makes sense. Lobster rolls. I had my first lobster roll in November. I was up in Connecticut and had one. I think I got a hot one. And I guess there's like strong opinions whether lobster rolls are better hot or cold. I think I got a hot because the cold just looked like it was like tuna salad but made with lobster. Do you have a preference, Waylon's Ma? All right. That looks like it's to scale. Yeah, that looks good. Will the critters be roasting a hot dog? Yes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a toothpick and like put a hot dog on it and then have it like propped up on there. They'll be roasting one. They get to eat one hot dog at a time. I have stuff to make toppings if we get like really ambitious and want to get crazy with it. Hot sounds like a blasphemy against nature. Lucifer would let. Does it? So I guess cold. So you like cold. Maybe I had cold. No, I think I had hot because it was really cold out the day that we got them and I was like, I need some heat in my body. I got that in clam chowder. Does that... Also, I made the mistake of calling... Where was I? Oh, I was in Maryland and I made the mistake of calling that New England and like was about run out of town. Like they were just like horrified on my behalf. All right. We can't confirm. I'm looking for... Okay. So this is kind of cool. You can take these like pastels and then use this to paint, well not paint, but just like color your buns. Let's see. I'm going to get a brush. All right. Let's see. Do. So you can like paint before as well as after. I'm just gonna do before because I think it'll stick better. Problem is, this brush is a little stiff. I wonder if I have a softer brush. This is. There we go. This looks better. Okay. Such a random. All right. Get some color. And then so you want to just color like the top as though it was like in an oven baking. So can you see that? How does that look? You can't even tell. I'm afraid to do too much though, because I definitely went, this thing looks like it got like a sunburn. Like that's a little, this looks like a 2-year-old who got into its mom's makeup is what this looks like. And I don't want my hot dog buns to look like that. So, let's see. So I'm trying to be subtle, which is not, I noticed that's not my strong suit. Subtlety, not something I do. Okay. You see that? Yeah, so like compared to just like a subtle. Giving it a try, seeing how it goes. All right, so now, where is I'm going to slice open my, this is not a razor, it looks like it, but this is just like a piece of metal. But it definitely makes me look like a badass, I think. If you can look like a badass while doing polymer clay. All right, I'm slicing it open. All right. Woo. Oh man, just like dinged my. So if you're working with polymer clay and it gets too soft, you can stick it in the freezer. I'm gonna have to repaint this thing. There. I'm gonna pinch the bottom slightly just so it looks kind of loafy. Okay. So I legitimately love this song. I've been like trolling sites for like free music I could play. And I want to like write to this person and just be like, I want to buy this song from you just so you get money, because it's super fun. I really like it. All right, so now our bun is like cut open. And what I'm gonna do is take a pin and like you basically just like do almost like a stirring kind of motion just to get like it almost like frothy to get it a little styrofoam look. So I'm gonna like froth this thing up. See, like it makes a huge difference if you can see just on the side that I did it versus the side that I didn't. It makes it look much more like bread. All right. So I thought about getting a toaster oven because you can bake polymer clay in a toaster oven, and I was like, oh, wouldn't that be fun to like have a toaster oven right here? And then I was reading, apparently like the chemicals might be bad for you. So instead I'm baking it in the oven in which I make food, which I ingest. I'm sure it's fine though. I'm sure it's fine. And the other problem with toaster ovens is apparently toaster ovens, I did not know this, but like they don't stay at like a steady heat, but they like go up and down, and so they'll just like burn whatever they're cooking and then like lower the temperature. Who knew? some more color. My oven just turned off. It's been preheated for too long. All right, and now I'm gonna put just a little bit of texture. Like anything that's like rough you can use to just like give the outside a little bit of texture. Like on the edges. You can see this. Burn everything, including Hot Pockets and pizza bagel. I will admit to eating I used to eat the shit out of some Hot Pockets. It's been a while since I had one. All right, so there's our bun. I think it's just a little bit more color. All right. I'm gonna press it down slightly just so it's not quite so. The cool thing about doing polymer clay is you can just use like a bunch of random stuff. So like these are like styluses for like doing stuff with like stamps. And you can use it to give just a little bit of texture. All right. All right, so now I'll brush the top of the other ones. Let's see. I'm going to scrape this a little bit just so I get a little bit more pigment off of this. There, I think that'll be better. There we go. So another thing I was thinking about making at one point is like a miniature food truck. And if I do that, then I could just do like reuse these hot dogs, for example, for that. Which I think would be fun. But that's, again, that seems super ambitious. Like a miniature food truck would be super fun. All right, just a little bit of red on top. Okay, that looks not bad. I'm gonna go with it. All right, so there's our hot dog buns. They look pretty good. I'm not gonna cut the others because I don't care that much. Again, we're not going hyper realistic here. So I have like a cookie dish or a cookie pan. A lot of people make beads with polymer clay, so you can get like a lot of bead making kits. I've never gotten into that particular hobby because I would not wear anything I can make out of polymer clay. Because I'm not that talented. I trend more towards twee and cutesy, and I don't think that would be professional where to work. So you can use either parchment paper or aluminum foil if you're baking polymer clay. So, show scissors. All right. There we go. So I'll put my little buns over there. Cue the bun jokes. Okay. Let's see. So now let's do hot dogs. Let's see. I've got brown. I've got red. I don't actually know. Like, if you look up directions, they'll tell you how much of each color to use. We're gonna wing it. That's what's happening. How hard could it be? Famous last words. Okay. So, let's take some brown and add some red. Very dark. And add some red. Let's see. This is staining my fingers. I'm gonna have to wash my hands. Like, it's not until you are trying to do like a significant amount of like messy things in an office that you realize how often you use your kitchen sink. I did though, so a little behind the scenes. I do have an emergency cleanup kit. So if things get really bad, like, I got it covered. It occurred to me though while I was playing with my razor blade that I don't have an emergency first aid kit. So I should probably add that to this. Could you imagine? Emergency first aid on the live internet. It would pretty much just consist of me like holding paper towels to a bleeding wound and screaming. That would be my first aid, my emergency first aid. Is this the color of hot dogs? What color are hot dogs? I think they're... What color is theirs? Theirs is more red than this. I think I need some white in here. Need some white up in here. Did we just listen to a song? I think we did. I want to move to England, where people love their tea. So much they made a spot in the afternoon to drop everything and drink. You're extremely organized. I just laid it all out. I knew what I needed for each project and laid it out. Actually, my supplies are well organized. Everything else is not that well organized. I think I need some tan. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a little too dark. Mix all this together. So Twitch has a bunch of like miniature communities. There's like groups that you can like join for miniatures, but it's all like the tabletop miniatures. It doesn't seem like there's anyone else doing like dollhouse configurations. So I'm part of no community right now. I'm my own community. I think this is... And now it's two, like, rows. Alright. See, this is what happens when you don't follow instructions. I'm gonna add some brown back in, and then some yellow. These are veggie dogs, right? What color are veggie dogs? I have not eaten veggie dogs. I have eaten vegetarian sausage. I used to make like huge, like just like giant vats of jambalaya. And I occasionally go through a period where I'm like, I want to make less of a negative impact on this planet, and so I'm going to eat vegetarian. And so I made like a quadruple, like this huge pot of jambalaya, and I ruined it with vegetarian sausage. It was the grossest sausage I've ever eaten. And I threw the whole thing away. Like I couldn't even like force myself to eat it. There's not enough hot sauce. Not enough Franks in the world for that. All right. That's hot dog colored, right? I think it is. Okay. So, I'm going to make little tiny hot dogs to put in my... I'll make one to put in the bun, and then I'll put one on a stick. This needs to be thinner. Ah. It's too big. All right. Take just a little bit of the volume out. Oh my god. Alright, so most of the tutorials I was seeing online said to put like grill marks like you had grilled the hot dogs. But if we're cooking this over a campfire, there wouldn't be grill marks. And every time I've cooked something over a campfire, it's literally just included me like sticking it into the fire, it catching on fire, and then me blowing it out. I don't know if that's what we want to have happening here. But I might just put a little bit of black on top. Let's see. It is a sin to grill a veggie dog. Only meat can touch a grill. Right? Well, okay, what about vegetables? Like a kebab is good, right? What if you have like a mushroom kebab? I'm in support of that. Veggie dogs are just gross. Some veggie burgers are okay. Veggie dogs, I just can't imagine them being good. But Jimi Hendrix doesn't want to eat his friends. All right. I think we need some like, it has meat on it. All right, so if it's a kebab with meat on it, then that's okay. Actually, I'll make the rest of let's make the rest of our hot dogs. Where's, I were toothpicks. Let's see. All right, so corn. Is corn a vegetable? I think corn's a grain. I don't know if corn counts. I should have paid attention to how big my piece was starting out. It's too big. Corn, it's not a meat. Alright, so now I'm gonna skewer this thing. So for those of you who care, when you're working with other types of clay, yeah, this thing's like warping. When you're working with other types of clay, when you put them on like sticks or like wire frames or something like that, as it dries, it like loses moisture and then it loses volume, so it like tightens and shrinks. That does not happen with polymer clay because it doesn't lose moisture. This is the ugliest hot dog I ever saw. All right, we're starting again. That was a failure. Let's try this again. All right, ball. Moving to Texas, I will say that the barbecue here is amazing. Amazing. I don't actually eat that much red meat, but I will eat it here. But like even like barbecued turkey is amazing here. Eating it elsewhere now is just kind of like eating just food. Once you've lived in Houston, eating anywhere else is like a risk. You're like, I don't know, like, because I'm used to some pretty darn good food. Cook corn as long as it's side dish, no need. And garlic bread. Garlic bread is toasted. All right, how many hot dogs? We'll do like 2 or 3. All right. I turned you on to pecan pie. So, for those of you who have not had pecan pie, it's amazing. Like, just like close your eyes and imagine just like heaven on your tongue, and that is what pecan pie is. And then you look at the calorie count for a pecan pie, and it's like 4,000 calories for a single slice, and you're instantly filled with this like self-loathing. Like nothing that great can like be worth it. It's so good though. Pecan pie is amazing. The bread pudding here is really good too. Just the food. If you ever come to Houston, just eat all day. All right. So we've got 4 hot dogs. We're gonna stick one of these on a stick and hope it doesn't warp again. Totally agree about Texas food. Mexican food is horrible in Maryland. Yeah, I used to live in Colorado. When I go back to Colorado now, and my friends are like, hey, you want to get Mexican food? And I'm like, why? Like, no, I do not. I want, like, their microbreweries are good. Eating Mexican food not near Mexico is just an abomination. All right. So there's our hot dog on a stick. Can you see that? If it falls off, we'll glue it on. 3,000 calories per slice. It seriously is. And so then for going back to pecan pie, I was like outraged, and I was like, what do they put in it? And it's literally just like crust, corn syrup, pecans. It's very good. I kind of want to put a handle on this stick. Is that a thing? I feel like that's a thing, to put like a handle. Let's wrap this thing in some black. Actually, I'm going to make sure my oven didn't turn off. Still on. Woohoo! You can tell how often I bake. I don't bake that often. If I use anything, like I'll roast a chicken in there and that's about it. Alright, so what I'm doing, I think they call this making like a snake. There's like snakes and there's balls. Anyway, this is like all polymer clay, like terminology, I think. It sounds right to me. And so what I'm going to do is just like wrap this. Make this as thin as I can without like making it unworkable. And then wrap it around the handle. And call it good. I don't know, this is not thin enough. Let's try this again. We also have Cajun food in Texas. So if you come to Texas and don't eat Cajun food, I mean, Louisiana's obviously better, but Houston, the Cajun food's great. And coming from the West Coast, that's not a thing there. Like, it's very rare you're gonna get like a good po' boy in California. Let's see, I'm going to make this a really thin little snake. All right. I've also thought about, this handle is not working. I don't know if I want to do this. I've also thought about doing like a miniature coffee shop. I thought that would be kind of cool. Anyway, I'm soliciting. That's really ugly. All right, I'm calling it. No handle. If the snake's gonna behave like that, it's not gonna get to be part of this amazing miniature hot dog scene. All right, so we have all that done. I'm gonna so now I'm gonna like put just like the lines on the edges of the hot dog using this like pin. You can see it. It's amazing how just like a little bit of detailing increases the realism of this stuff pretty significantly. All right. Like, this stuff gets super just like goofy looking. It's awesome. All right. There we go. All right. How about a miniature reading nook bookshelf? So that's a great idea. I have some miniature books, and in fact, if you watch like my past projects, little screen slideshow, what do you want to call it? I have made books as well, so I don't even have to buy them all. And what I've been trying to do is like, for those scenes that have books, I'll try to come up with like animal puns for the titles, because why not? She who includes dinosaur jokes in her Twitch layout is absolutely going to like have a book called Jane Hare. Get it? Jane Hare. So that would be really fun to do. Like, I could do a combination like book nook and coffee shop. All right. I might put some black on this just so it looks like it's been in the fire. Again, this doesn't look like any hot dog I ever grilled, because mine just end up like completely covered in charcoal. All right, so I'll put this on this. I think I want to try to do, so you see how they have like mustard and ketchup? I'm trying to decide if I want to make a mustard and ketchup bottle. I think I do. Because why not? Let's live. I'm gonna put some ketchup on here. That's not enough. Alright, so I like how they went back and forth, but I think I'm just going to do a couple. So originally when I first started thinking about doing this stream, I was going to have my first project be the, like, sorry, I'm trying to get my ketchup on here. Be the ship from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Because that would be amazing. And then I, like, came to my senses and I was like, that seems intense. Like, this, like, Victorian steampunk submarine. Like, let's back off a little bit. And so then that's why I decided to do a camping scene first. But I have all this stuff to potentially do a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea theme if I get way above my confidence level. Signing off of sure. Thank you. Thanks, Sharp Stuff. Too much mustard. I was promised fire. You missed the fire, sort of. And I managed it without burning anything down, so it's like it's a double win. Okay. Still too. Let's see. Put our mustard on. Can we light that on actual fire? It's mostly rocks, so I don't know if it would burn very well. And also, it took me like half an hour to make it, so that would be a waste of a half hour of my life. Tips for real fire. Again, if we want to make a plastic bag for these hot dogs and these buns, we might actually burn this place down. So I'm going to need one of you to call the fire department if that happens. And also my landlord and tell her I'm sorry. Landlady? Landlord. Landlady. Let's see. Mustard on our... Alright. Can you provide your address for safety purposes, of course? No, I can't. I cannot provide my address for any purposes. The last thing I need in my life is to get swatted on my second stream ever. There we go. This looks like a 3-year-old put mustard and ketchup on it, but I'm gonna go with it. Can I name the hot dog tips? No. We have enough naming conventions around here. We don't need any more naming. All right. I'm going to... I think that's it for the polymer clay. I'm going to go throw this thing in the oven real quick. Just for like 15 minutes. Wait, did she just say she was going? No, I just put the... I just put the polymer clay in for 15 minutes. You said timer. Because I don't want to... Actually, probably more like 25 minutes. Okay. Because you can burn polymer clay, and no one wants that. So... This next part's going to be a bit more of an experiment. Like the rest of this was like a total experiment. I was up at 6 a.m. this morning looking up how to make miniature ketchup bottles. Because that's what I like to do with my free time apparently. Is that and then make miniature ketchup bottles. I did buy these at one point. So like once you start doing miniatures, you start buying like tiny little things. These are taco sauce and tortilla chip scented erasers. And so I was thinking that this might be a good ketchup bottle. But if I look at it next to Lucifer, it's as big as he is. So it might be, that's a lot of ketchup for a camping trip. Burn. I'm not burning anything. I'm not burning anything on purpose. These are pretty much adorable. Thank you. All right. There's gonna be more hot glue action. We all know how that's gonna turn out. Can I tip for more glue gun usage? I don't know if you need more glue gun usage. Like there's a lot of glue gunning in this. Because glue guns are like a crafter's best friend. Did y'all ever watch Red Green? It's this like Canadian show that was like on in the BBC on like, I think it was like the 80s and the 90s. But they said that duct tape was the handyman's secret weapon. Hot glue is the crafter's secret weapon. Do other people talking here or are they much lurkers? Everyone's free to experience reptile dysfunction however they wish to experience it. There was a lot less demands to burn things. Oh my god. Yes! I loved that show. And they had the Handyman's Corner where they would make like, they made a mobile phone at one point. It was just like a regular phone with like a giant funnel duct tape to it. And you put it across the room and just yelled at it. And that was their like mobile phone. It was pretty awesome. Hilarious. If y'all haven't seen Red Green, you should look it up. Highly recommend it. All right, so didn't they have a giant moose head on the wall or something? Yeah, because it was like the Moose Lodge, right? It was like I think it was like the Moose Lodge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a straw and we're gonna fill it with hot glue and hope it doesn't melt. and then put some other stuff in it and hope that it turns out looking anything like a ketchup and mustard bottle. That's what's happening here. Alright, so I'm going to cut these to be about a 1/2 inch. That would still be a 6-inch bottle of ketchup, but I'm going with it. Burn. It might. This might burn. Again, I've never done straws and hot glue before. Let's see. Alright, here it goes. It melted it. I think this is a legitimately unsafe hot glue gun. Like, I don't think I'm... That's not what happened online. I saw this on the internet and that's not what happened. I think this might actually be unsafe. AG99JYD, welcome. Ketchup is very important. Red green makes me think of Fraggle Rock. It's kind of the same time period. I loved Fraggle Rock as well. I bet I know why, because didn't the old man who lived like upstairs wear like red plaid? I don't know about this, guys. We might have to... Other options for ketchup was like slicing off edges of crayons. We could try that. I don't know about this hot glue thing. This might not work. This seems like it's not great. Not great, guys. Please use actual ketchup. I'm not wasting ketchup. Speaking of good things in Texas, they sell Whataburger Texas at H-E-B. Or Whataburger ketchup. The spicy stuff. That's what's in my fridge right now. It's amazing. Alright, I'm going to try to cut this. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, I bet it's that old man. And then like the dog was super goofy. I liked Fraggle Rock a lot. That's too long. So what I'm trying to do is like give like sort of a like the tip. I think this thing's gonna melt. I might have to do a fundraiser for a new hot glue gun. This is... At least it didn't completely melt. I'm gonna count that as a win. Can you see that? I may have to go on to Pinterest and unpin whatever it was that I found. This is not great. No, this is glued on here. All right. It's gonna look like they found it out in the forest. This is like scavenged ketchup and mustard. Let's see, where's my... rocket. Okay, that's too long. Let's trim this down some more. All right, it doesn't not look like, kind of looks like a mustard bottle. I have some pretty amusing clips from the last stream. Can you do any more of those voices? What, I'm terrible. Like, the reason they're amusing is because I'm terrible at it. Last time I did a very offensive Irish accent. I'm sure that, again, if anyone actually who was Irish saw it, they would start a campaign to bring me down. Let's see. No. What was it? Ooh, me lucky fire. Me lucky mustard. That's all I got. It's very offensive. Alright. Mustard. One done. We'll paint it and call it good, and no one's allowed to touch it. This is... And let me trim this. What other voices? I don't really do voices that much. Like that's a skill set I do not have. TP's truly tight. They are, according to internet definitions, which I pretty much like. I'll Google something and believe like whatever the first thing I find is, which is probably why fake news is so successful. And according to the internet, a teepee is a conical tent. So I'm starting an information campaign to raise awareness so that no one ever calls me or makes me think that they're calling me an accidental racist again. That's what that is. For someone from California, being an accidental racist is like one of the most horrifying things you could possibly imagine, second only to like someone like Donald Trump being president. So it wasn't the worst day, but it wasn't a great day. Let's see. All right, almost done. I should sell this online just because that'd be hilarious to make someone pay for this. I'd have to return their money because it's the worst thing ever made, but it'd be funny. Like, I'd be like, I will sell this to you, but you need to sell me, like, you need to send me a picture of your face as soon as you open it and realize that you paid for straws hot glued together. Let's see. So now I'm going to stick this in here. So one time I went camping with a friend. We were driving from Houston to Denver for something. And we left like super late and we like pull into this KOA in Dallas. And he is not a camper. And I like grew up camping. And he wanted us to go to a hotel and I was like, no, I don't want to go to a hotel. Like I want to stay in a campground. And so we find this KOA. And I wake up the next morning and he's like rocking himself next to me in this tent. And I'm like, what's the problem? And he's like, you brought me to a trailer park and we spent the night in a trailer park in Dallas. And I was like, what? This isn't a trailer park. Like, this is a KOA. He's like, oh no, the people here aren't staying here. They're living here. And so I like go and I like look out the window and I'm like looking around. I'm like, I don't see anybody. He's like, yeah, no, they all left for work. And so he insisted on staying in hotels for the rest of the trip because I like ruined him for camping by accidentally staying at a KOA that was filled by people who wanted to live in a KOA and he didn't like it. What is a KOA? King of Alaska. Campground of America. I think it's from when they used to think that taking C words and starting them with K's was amusing. Like a lot of times KOAs will have like, they're kind of, I don't want to say luxury camping, but like they'll have swimming pools and they'll have bounce houses and it's like a camping experience that's as far from camping as you can possibly be. Like they'll have showers and bathrooms and all that. And it's probably really fun for some families, but like I've never loved staying at a KOA. King of Alaska. That sounds like a TV show name. Alright. I need to figure out how to... I guess I got it over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these. One red and one yellow. Well, it's already yellow, but... And we'll see how it works out. Camping also just makes you very aware of like how dependent you are on modern amenities. And make you like accept that. So I used to have like, I went camping in Death Valley, I think one time. Yeah, it was Death Valley. And it was like a, what's it called? It was a field study course. So it was like a geology class where we were going out. And so we like stayed at this campground and the bathroom that they brought with us was like a bucket with a bag in it. And then they had like, it was like a little cubicle. Like the walls were like this tall. And so you could like literally see anyone who was using it. You could just see them from the waist up as they're like sitting there using this like bucket in the campground. And I was like, I ain't using that. Like I will wait until we get to the visitor center tomorrow and I will use the bathroom at the visitor center rather than like this like super public, very, very public restroom. And so we get up the next morning and I have to pee so bad, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait till we get to the visitor center. We hop on the bus. We drive to like our first like lecture place because it's a geology field study course. I didn't realize we weren't going to a visitor center. And we drove up, parked the bus in the middle of Death Valley. So it's just like mountain range over here, mountain range over there, nothing. Like there's nothing in Death Valley. And I ended up like having to pop a squat literally in front of everyone could very clearly see me because there was no trees, there was no rocks, there was nothing to hide behind. And so rather than using like a little cubicle thing, I just like peed in front of God and everybody. And it was one of the top 10 most embarrassing moments in my life, which is saying something because I have a lot of embarrassing moments on a regular basis. And I stopped being so picky, and now I use bathrooms when I can. All right. If you haven't been to Death Valley, speaking of which, I would highly recommend you go because it's like an amazing, like geological, it's just an amazing place. There's a place called, this looks weird. There's a place called Devil's Golf Course. And it is, oh no, it won't stand up. I need to trim this. Devil's Golf Course is basically where, like, it rains so little there and, like, there's so much salt out on the land that when it does rain, salt moves, like, through different barriers to try to balance itself. And so the salt actually moves up, like, above the surface of the ground. And, can you see that? These are doofy looking. You could do Valley Girl talk since you're from California. I do a mean Valley Girl accent. So I actually had a Valley Girl accent in college. My college roommate grew up in the San Fernando Valley. Look at these. Not great. How did they end up such different heights? And so I would call home and I'd be like, hey, and my family's like, why are you talking like that? I'm like what? And they're like, what you just did, that's not like how you normally talk. And so I would talk like this, like a lot. And I had blonde highlights, and it was a dark time in my life. A very dark time. Let's see. These are... I think I'm just gonna go with it. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. We're just gonna have to, like, I don't know why they're such different heights. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add more to the bottom of this one just to give it a little prop. So yeah, Death Valley. Death Valley also has a place that's like 28 feet below sea level, so you can be below sea level in Death Valley, and then it also has like one of the highest points in the western hemisphere, or the western part of the U.S. It's just really cool. There's also this place where, because you guys know I'm like obviously super into rocks because I like to go hiking and collect them. You can, like, permafrost forms, and rocks will move. And so you'll wake up in the morning and there's like trails. It looks like snake trails or like snail trails from where the rocks just like slid on the permafrost. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Okay. I'm gonna paint these things. Let's see. Actually, let's do the mustard first. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this with acrylic paint and then possibly put Mod Podge over it just to give it like a little bit of a gloss. Ooh, that is more than enough paint. There we go. Can you see this? Probably not. There we go. All right. If anyone wants to name this ketchup and mustard for tips, I'll let you do it for free if what you name it is like the word ugly. This is... It'll be fine for pictures. That's what that's good for. It's good for pictures. All right. Alright, let's paint this thing. Probably gonna have to do a couple coats because this is showing through. Alright. So we've got our campfire done. We've got our shh. Hi. Hi. Do you want to say hi to the people on the internet? My cat's very grumpy. She thinks she wants to say hi, but she probably won't once she gets to. Hey, come here. Come here. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, not a fan. She's very talkative. Which when I got her I really liked because like cats that are too quiet super creep me out. And cats that are talkative, I have an easier time believing they're not plotting my death. But I think she's both plotting my death and super talkative. Wow, loud cat. She really is. She's super chatty. She's very, very loud at 4 a.m. That's when she's loudest, which is pretty much the worst. Alright, the ketchup I think looks better. It looks like ketchup. Alright. Hi. Alright, we have our mustard and ketchup done. I am going to go wash my hands. I will be right back. Let me see if my BRB screen works.